Okay, let me very quickly give an introduction of Devin right now. So Devin is the Director of Sales and Marketing in Progressive. He has 20 years worth of experience in marketing, span across 14 different countries. So some of the big brands that Devin has worked for includes Disney, Coca-Cola, Hewlett-Packard, and Mattel. And in Progressive, Devin was responsible for a few key milestones, including helping the company win some major Asia Communication Award in branding, Best Brand Award in 2016 and 2018, Project of the Year Award in 2016. So that, in a nutshell, is who Devin is. Of course, there is a lot to know more than that. Devin, why don't we start this conversation by you telling us why did you come to Brunei?
Okay, that's a good place to start. Can you hear me okay, Shaun?
Brilliant. Yeah, perfect.
If it ever gets tough, just let me know and I can adjust my volume.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been in Brunei a little over 5 years now.
Right.
And I've told the story so many times that the joke's not even funny anymore. I did have to Google where Brunei was when I first got the call. But I'm American, so we're not really good at geography. You've got to forgive me that. So despite having lived all over the world, I'm trying my best. So, and I think from the time I got the call, I was given about 45 days to report to the job. So you can imagine going from Florida to Brunei was a really, really big change. But I have lived in countries all over the world. I spent a good bit of time in the Caribbean, in South and Central America, as well as just extensive traveling. So while it was a different culture and it was a different landscape, the process of exploring a new culture and becoming part of a new culture was something that's very familiar to me. So,
have you lived in Asia prior to Brunei, Devin?
No, never. This was my first time. I've been to Australia once. Otherwise, it was my first time this far east. So,
that's interesting. 14
I'd always
countries, not in Asia.
Yeah, not in Asia. So I'm happy to say I've more than doubled the number of countries I've traveled to since I've been in Brunei. But it was my first Asia experience, and that's 5.5 years ago. It's been great.
Oh, blink of an eye.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you tonight about the marketing career as well as a career in telco. But before that, I want the audience to understand this. Last year, when I did Youth Empowerment Conference, we meet tremendous amount of times. And, I look forward to every meeting with you because, every time I come and see you, I go back feeling like I've learned something. So the way that I describe you in my newsletter, Devin, is a visionary that can see like 6-7 steps ahead. Now, my first question to you is, what does it take to be a great marketing person?
Okay, let's see. A couple things, really, and in no particular order. But I mean, creativity obviously is something that's critical. Anyone in the marketing industry, it changes as people change. It changes as trends change. It changes as technology changes. So you have to be able to be creative over time, which means you have to have resilience and endurance in your creativity. I think that's probably at the core the most critical skill. Obviously, you have to have business acumen. I mean, you have to, if you're going to market a product, if you're going to be involved in a marketing discipline, you have to understand the basics of business. Ideas are just ideas without the ability to shape them, form them, bring them to market, and then sell them to people in a way that's going to be sustainable for a business. So business acumen obviously is a critical one. There's a certain level of humility to it as well.
Humility.
Because, not every idea is going to be great. And some of the best ideas are just not easy to implement. So the fact is, you mentioned 6, 7 steps ahead. Sometimes that's as big a problem as it is an enabler. You get too far ahead and you build products that people don't need yet, or you build technology that's not quite ready for consumption yet. So, you've got to be able to have that kind of humility to say, look, great idea. The world's not ready, or we're not ready, or it's just not the right time.
So you need to keep your pulse on the ground all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So just, I think part of it is also a balance of passion and dispassion. Because
same dispassion.
You've got to realize too that you can be passionate about an idea or a product and no one else cares about it.
Right.
And you got to realize, if you're in the business of making products that people want, then you're always working and thinking for them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the business of developing products and services that people don't know they need yet, well, it's a longer road sometimes, but it still requires you to balance your passion, to make sure you don't get ahead of yourself. Otherwise, you'll burn out and get frustrated.
Let me give you an example of what I mean by 6, 7 steps ahead, Devin. I was doing my homework before you come on board. And I went to the Progressive website. And then right away, there's a script that says, hey, we know that it's dangerous to go out there and buy your own phone. If you want, fill out the thing and we'll bring the phone to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is fast thinking, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's necessity is the mother of invention, right? I'll tell you a little secret.
Yes.
Sometimes ideas get ahead of technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got that built in a very quick period of time, and over time that'll become this amazingly sophisticated, innovative process. But right now, when you fill out that form, it basically sends an email to one of my team, who then goes to the warehouse and picks up the phone or whatever you need, walks it downstairs to Dart, and then Dart delivers it. So it's not the most sophisticated process, but it serves a purpose and it filled a gap. And we have an average of 23 orders a day right now through that website.
Amazing. Wow.
So with reduced hours in store, there's definitely utility there. There's definitely a need for it.
Now, how do you come up with that idea?
That one wasn't mine. That one was my CEO told me, get it done and get it done tomorrow.
The reason why I'm excited about it, Devin, is COVID-19 is so new, so there's no other model for you to copy. So it must be something quite original.
Well, yeah, I mean, and sometimes you create your own luck, Shaun. And I mean, if you think about it, we had Dart in our startup lab for the past 2+ years. Had we not had that relationship already in place, then facilitating delivery wouldn't have been as immediate. It'd still be kind of tied up in getting that part figured out. So I like to think sometimes if you create a good enough ecosystem and maintain relationships and the network that makes these things accessible to you, then it's just a matter of when the time is right, knowing how to connect the dots. Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Oh yeah. Definitely.